So, we're filming these two commercials now, or we're about to film the commercials. So, how do you feel about the commercials that we're filming and kind of what they stand for?
Both of them are actually really important to me. Being with the Uber one, right now I do have my own van, but I need someone to help me drive it because I can't drive it by myself. So having that Uber option would be good. So I wouldn't, need somebody to help me drive. I would just be able to, use my phone for 10 seconds and be able to get where I need to go. Whereas right now I have to, I have the van, but I need someone to drive it. So I have to make plans ahead of time with somebody who can drive, and it's a whole process. And it would be so much easier with Uber. And then the Olmsted one, I'm fortunate in that I'm not in one of these mental health facilities or these nursing home facilities. And a lot of these people are probably at my same level of ability, and they are institutionalized and not able to be a productive member of society. And that's horrible. And honestly, I didn't really even know about this until Washika brought it up, and I'm livid.
And also, how do you feel about, because this is particularly about media, but how do you feel about media that it depicts disability, but it doesn't have people with disabilities in it? So, for instance, I've mentioned before Glee, where the main character who's portrayed as having a disability actually doesn't. And what do you think that kind of media kind of does or portrays?
One of my friends, Dominic, who you know, and a couple other people have the saying, "Nothing about us without us." And it's just the thought that if there were not disabled people, you wouldn't need these representations. So why not represent them with the people that they're trying to represent? Why is that so hard for media to understand? With one prime example is in the new Mad Max movie, there's that girl with an amputation on her arm. She doesn't have an arm, and the actors had both arms, and they green screened the arm out for one scene, or for most of the scenes, and then there was one scene where she had both arms. It was a flashback. Why would it have been so hard for them to have an amputee actress who had one arm and then CGI the arm in for the flashback scene? It's, how do I want to say this? Why would you not have people with disabilities represent people with disabilities? It just doesn't make sense to me.
And so do you think that the problem is that behind the scenes that there aren't enough people with disabilities as part of the process?
As far as talent agents and stuff?
Well, no, I mean creating media. Do you think that there aren't enough people with disabilities in part of the production of the media, not just the final product?
Yes and no. I think in a broader scale, and having to do with Olmsted and other, similar problems, people with disabilities are not given as many opportunities to be able to create. I know a lot of creators, so to speak, of different forms of media. I mean, Dominic, as I mentioned earlier, is a filmmaker. He makes films. But there's not anybody, there's not a Spielberg with a disability. And it's an issue, quite frankly. And do I think that having those would help? Yes. Do I think it would completely solve the problem? No. Because just having one director or one, casting director or one visual effects artist with a disability is just going to fix that one film or that one franchise. It's not going to fix all films. You have to have multiple people, and it's going to be slow, but I think we can get there eventually, hopefully.